All right, so back to where we were. Yeah, so that's the phone number you can call, um, or you can text. I usually within a few hours, just like you guys. I'm as often as I'm looking at my phone, I will see something and I'll get back to you. If I don't get back to you within a few hours, then you can go ahead and ask me again. It's not a problem. The email is the way to make absolutely sure it gets done. So if you're just asking me a question like, "Do we have this tomorrow?" Yeah, fine. But if you're saying like, "Oh, can you go look at like my last exam and take a picture of it and send it to me," or I want to know about like, and there's like a task that you want me to complete, email it to me. Don't even say it to me in class. If I mean, yes, go ahead and tell me in class, but if you tell me something, make sure if you want to make sure that there's something I have to get done, make sure you email it to me. Otherwise, there's a really good chance it won't happen because I forget everything. Yeah, so Wednesday, come to class to take your test. Usually people stay for the lecture, but that's up to you. Monday, you have your choice. Like I'm in the classroom right now, so Monday you can come, or you can stay home, right? So it'll be, I'll be recording it and I'll be posting it. So what I'm saying is virtual Monday, but maybe you're one of those people that feel like, well, I can't. I'm not disciplined enough to watch. I keep turning off my video. We turn off our video, then we turn off the sound. Then it's like you're kind of free to do whatever you want, right? And you're going to get bored super fast, just like with any class. And then you're going to find yourself doing something else. And so you might feel like you need to come to class.
Okay.
That's up to you, but you definitely don't have to. I'm not making any note either way. If you guys don't come, I can do this from my office, and I'm fine. But well, whatever you want, I'm here. I'm here on Mondays if you
Mhm.
want to come in for anything. For lab, we don't have lab on Mondays. We have lab on Wednesdays. So if you're taking lab, you got to be here anyway. So you might as well just plan on being here. So just look at it as like a 1 day a week class.
Mhm.
Um, the book is free, but you already took AMP 1, so whatever you have for that class probably will work for this class. But if you don't have a book yet, you just click on this link and it will open to the book.
What you say? The book is free?
Yeah,
Oh, I like free.
yeah, the book and the lab.
I'm always paying for some. Oh, the
Yeah,
book in the lab.
lab is
Okay.
also it's you're automatically signed up for it, so
Oh,
there's nothing
that's
to buy.
cool. Oh, wow. Okay.
Because why it's 2022 and there's still look, I was saying this in like 2012. I'm like, oh, it's 2012 and we're still buying like $200 textbooks and you never open them.
Mm-hmm.
Right? That was true 10 years, and now it's like 10 more years, and we're still doing
Doing the same
things.
thing. Mm-hmm.
Some people are like, oh, I rented it. How much was it? It was $80. Well, why did $80? I mean, $80 is $80, and you still very few people open it and read it. It's boring material.
Yep.
So I don't know why we're still doing it. And these books are good. This book is just as good as everything else out there. But if you already have a book, feel free to use it as well. They're all the same, right?
Okay.
So you just go to table of contents. We're going to start on chapter 17, endocrine system. And I'm just like that 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. We're just going in
Mm-hmm.
order like that. And the stuff that I talk about, the book follows it. You might see that the slides that I use, like
Mm-hmm.
the pictures that I use on my slides are not the same as the book exactly, but it's the same. It's like a picture of I don't know, let's say a heart, right? It's the same idea.
My machine going off.
What's that? The washing dryer? So anyway, it's the same. It's the same book, right? It might look a little different, but it's essentially following the same order. And there's not information that's in one book that's not in another book. It's all everywhere. So there's your book. Um, Grading. Um, so we've got a total of 6 tests and then a final. Let me address the cumulative final first. So because you might be freaking out by that word cumulative. It is cumulative, but you will have a like a test bank, like a list of questions. So I'm going to give you. Usually it's around like 30. They're not multiple choice, so sorry, but about 30 questions, and those questions are pretty much the questions that you had on old tests. And then I will pick like 10 of those. So as far as like the questions that I'm going to pick, you're going to know it's not going to be unexpected, right? The majority of the cumulative final is questions that you already had, and I'm just going to pick some of them, and then there's a few questions from like new material. But again, I'm going to say, hey guys, these are things that I could be asking you, right? So there's no surprises on any of these tests. The only difficult thing for you guys is to study and prepare for them. But like if you always want to know, well, what's he going to ask? I have the whole chapter. I have like the whole book. Like I don't know exactly what. Well, I'll narrow it down. Like these are the things that I'm going to ask you about. So we have 3 exams, 3 quizzes. This is going to get to one of your questions that you emailed me. I'm going to drop between your 3 quizzes and 3 exams. I'm dropping one of those. Which one will I drop is just whatever the one is best for your grade. So if you get like a 70 on an exam and you get a 70 on a quiz, I'm going to drop the exam because that's worth more, right? So I'm just going to, if you miss a test, that's your drop. So I don't do any makeup. So if you're missing something, just miss it. You got to take that last exam, that final, right? But from the 6 tests that we're doing before that, I'll drop whatever's the lowest one. So if you got something planned, just miss it. As far as labs, I'm jumping ahead of myself here, but if you have a lab practical, that I can figure something out with you if you happen to miss that. Okay, I don't even know if that answered her question. Did that answer? That answers the email?
Yeah, it answers the email. Thank
Can I
you.
erase the email? That's what I'm getting at. Okay. Yeah, so yeah, we'll work it out for lab. We'll figure it out. I'm not concerned as much about lab. I'll figure things out. In fact, I dropped the lowest practical. So, and in fact, that's probably the one that most people drop anyway. So lab's not going to be something that you're going to have that you're going to have to like study all the time for, and it's not the same, right? I want lab to help you guys with the lecture, but I'm jumping ahead. So in short, it's not going to affect your grade if you miss a test. But yeah, I can't do makeups. I can, but I don't because it just messes me up. It just does. And I'll tell you, oh, come take it at this time. I never have it ready. It's just okay. This is what we're gonna follow. I don't know how much we're gonna stick with it because, well, this is the order that we're gonna follow things, and the test dates are the test dates. But we might fall behind. We might get bogged down on one of the chapters, or we might blow through a chapter, right? So this is my best guess of when we're going to do everything. The quizzes and exams are, I put it here. It doesn't mean it's on March 28th. It means it's that Wednesday, right? I put it all at the bottom. If you scroll to the bottom, you can see when all the tests are and what time they are. So that just meant that week, next week we have a quiz. Quizzes are always on Wednesday. Wednesday
So,
because
I'm sorry.
Oh no, go ahead.
So we have a quiz this Wednesday coming.
This is the only exception is this Wednesday. But starting next week, it's every Wednesday.
Okay.
Yeah, because if I do it this Wednesday, like we're not really going to talk about a whole lot of stuff. So
We're going to get through with the whole chapter of 17
yeah,
in one day,
no,
in
we'll
one
never.
schedule.
It's going to take us at least 3. It's going to take us 2 or 3 class periods to get through it.
Okay.
And I'm glad you brought that up because I wanted to tell you that the first chapter is really like a hard chapter. And so I don't want you guys to feel like I can't do this class. Like this is way harder than I thought. Yeah, it's harder. Look, this class is harder than A&P 1. It is, hands down.
Mm-hmm.
It's just it just is. But this particular chapter is really hard. So I'm starting off with like the worst. Right? So you're going to feel like, well, this is just too much. And I would just tell you, just hang on until you get to the chapter on blood. If you do the chapter on blood and you feel like it's way, way, way too overwhelming, then okay, right? But endocrine, I like endocrine. Students hate it. So I'm kind of starting off with like a sucker punch. So I just keep that in your head when you start feeling overwhelmed.
How will your quiz be consist of? Like, for instance, the endocrine. How will it be? True, false, fill in the blanks, answer?
It'll be like the worst type of test you can think of.
And what is that?
What would be the worst type of test for you?
Fill in the blank.
Giving me my opinion about what I think.
Fill in the blank. It's essay open or
yeah, essay. Oh,
you have
wow.
to write out the answers. I know you guys like that freaks people out. It
Essays.
does. Just trust me. This is like 15 years of me playing around with doing different tests. I know multiple choice. Even to me, it seems like it's the easiest way to answer a question.
It is.
It's easy to answer, but it doesn't mean that you do better like with your test score. Every time I go back to multiple choice tests, my test scores go way down. Like the class average goes way down. And then when I go back to this way that I'm doing it, they start going up because you have with a multiple choice answer, when it's wrong, right? And you keep thinking, we all think that multiple choice is going to be super easy because it's the word that starts with a P. I just got to remember it's that one word that starts with a P. And then when you go to take that test, they all start with a P, right? You go through the multiple choice and you're like, okay, well, D's bullshit. A, half and a half. B and C, man, I don't know. It could be either one, right? It's like, it's never like just super easy. Insulin controls what? Hair growth. A is hair growth. B is blood sugar. C is adrenaline, right? And you're like, oh yeah, that's hella easy. Insulin's for like your blood sugar. It's definitely not for hair. They're never like that. Multiple choice questions are never like that easy. So
I better work on my my essay, the way I can explain and express myself about a certain type of situation.
It's not like a massive essay. It's just like you might have to write 2 or 3 sentences. A lot of these things you can answer with just a few words. Like they're short answers. A lot of them, most of it is short answer actually. There's a few questions that are longer. And I tell you guys ahead of time. I'm like, okay, this is going to be a question. I want you to be able to know it and explain it. And the other thing is that with these type of questions, I have a lot of room to give you points. It's not right or wrong. It's like, oh, well, she forgot to put like that little part on it, but you know what? Like she gets it. It's right. Like I have a lot of room to just ignore mistakes and give you more credit. When you And the biggest thing is that it forces you to learn the material. When you have multiple choice, you get relaxed and you're like, oh, it's multiple choice. I'll see it. I'll see the answer and then I'll know it in my head. You don't. Like none of us do.
Okay. Well, I'm also looking at the fact that we only have 8 weeks. This is a short mini
We move quick.
season.
We move quick. But
And
you'll know what I'm going to ask you. There's no secrets I'm going to tell you. I always write it up on the board. In fact, I wouldn't do it because it's a waste of your time. But if you were to go to like my YouTube channel, you can find old classes, and then you can like scroll to the end of my lectures, and you can already find the questions that I'm going to ask you. Like they're out there. It's not a secret.
okay.
Yeah, yeah. It's. I mean, I wouldn't do it because you don't have to go through a bunch of videos, and I have them by date, so you don't know what the topic is. But I mean, theoretically, you could go back there. I've got hundreds of videos. You could find the videos from a particular class, and at the end of the class, I'm telling the class, okay, I'm going to ask you about this, 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 this. Like, hey, class, here's 8 things that I told you that are important, and I'm going to ask you 5 of those 8 things.
Well, I think that's a very unique way of doing things, given to the fact that most of my classes, and I assume the other students as well, have been always true and false and fill in the blanks. And this is a very unique way. And I have to admit, this is the right way of learning things. And you're right. But it's coming at a point where we are running behind. We have such a short period of time, but
Yeah.
I don't disagree, and I'm looking forward to learning this way of teaching, and it will help most likely in nursing, of course.
I promise you it will. I'm not giving you anything that you're not going to come across again in nursing. Over the
Mhm.
years,
We really need it.
I've figured out what you're not going to need to get in nursing school, and then I've pulled it out, and I don't teach
Mhm.
it. The stuff that I'm giving you is just stuff that is going to come across again, whether you're going into radiology or nursing, or you're going to have you're going to have these things again. Like I've seen them. Like I
Right.
see it on the HESI or the T's, like these placement tests, or I've seen it teaching in class. Like I've run my
Mhm.
material through nursing instructors. Like that's whatever stuff I'm giving you, you're gonna come across it again, and you don't want to learn it a second time. Because when
Right.
you're in nursing school, you don't have any time. You don't have any time. You don't have time. Period.
And
You're
it's
in
another form of critical thinking, you know.
You don't have time to learn new stuff. That's why we're
Right.
taking this class. You've got to like. So this isn't like taking history. Like you're never gonna need it for nursing school.
Right.
Or even some types of math. There's only certain types of math you use with dosage and calculations. You don't need the other math, right? But this is different. Like all these concepts from this lecture is going to be used again.
Right.
Not even muscles, like where are the different muscles and where are the
Right.
extensions, and you're not going to need that in nursing school. You just aren't, and you're not going to need that as a nurse. But how the heart works, yeah. Not only are you going to need that for nursing school, but it applies for you when you're a nurse. Everyone's got jacked up hearts. That's the big
Right.
money makers for the hospital. Jacked up hearts, jacked up renal system, strokes, type 2 diabetes.
And you are 100% right, because I work at a hospital and I work I work in med surge, and I've seen many different types of heart condition and poor health and strokes
You look at the charts and you just start to see the same things over and over. You're like,
over
oh,
and over.
HDM, CVA, DM, and you start to just assume, you even start to assume that they've got like the same, like, oh, this guy's automatically got renal failure because he's got hypertension. That might not be the case, but you're just so used to seeing it all on their,
Right.
like they're all coming in with it. Hypertension, end stage renal failure, like,
Right.
so yeah, so this stuff, yes, you will. You should know how the heart works, and you should know how the kidneys work, and you got to know what's up with like type 2 diabetes, and what that means. And
That's true.
so so those are our chapters we're going through. It's all in the thorax and abdomen. Let you all read all this, blah blah blah. Okay, so over here I've kept it only a few things. People, you can see the other people in your class. Maybe you want to reach out to them. Do a group me. Grades are updated, so you're constantly going to know your average. I've got it all weighed out, and so when you take things, you'll see it you'll see your total at the bottom. So that's grades. Modules. So, sorry, hold on. All right. There's two types of videos that I put on these modules. One is a video that, like, I'm going to open this. I don't know how it's going to play, though, because and all this is on YouTube, by the way, everything. But it's not kind of any, well, okay, hold on. I'll just show you what it looks like. Maybe if I can cut the volume. All right, so I cut the volume. All right, so these are pretty much the same slides, and it's me. You see, like I'm moving around. It's me talking through it. I've already got them made up. So if you want to jump ahead, which is always a good idea, if you want to jump ahead, you can. I would do it. I would jump ahead. And even if you don't understand it, don't worry about it. It's just that there's something about seeing something before. Like it's only, look, this one's only 15 minutes. I spend 45 minutes in class on this, but I in this lecture, I just do it in 15 minutes. So if you were to watch it, then when I start talking about it in class, it like, you don't have to, I don't know, it feels different. Like, just trust me, like, you don't feel like, because when you take a class and I start talking about like words, like paracrine, autocrine, right there in your head, you're like, oh shit, autocrine. Okay, that's a word I got to know, right? Because that's what we do. We want to know the words, and we want to know the definitions of the words because we think that's what's on the test. So already your brain is like, paracrine. What's that? What's the word? And then right after that, I'm like, autocrine. You're like, wait, autocrine. Hold on, wait. What did he say? And then like you're starting to fall behind, right? But if you've seen it once, then you can relax a little more. Because really, I'm just talking about an idea. All I'm saying here is that some of these hormones get released from your brain, and they're going to go into your blood, and they're going to go to different places in your body. Sometimes hormones don't do that. They just get released like somewhere right next to where they're going to work. Like, there's a hormone that your heart makes, and your heart releases that hormone, and it just works right there in the heart. It doesn't have to go through your whole body. And that's all I'm saying. And some people start getting like freaking out because there's words. Wait, paracrine receptor. What the hell is that? Wait. And it's so, at least if you've seen it, even if you don't understand it, it still makes it makes things a hell of a lot easier. So So I've got videos like that. And that's what's up here in the modules right now. And then you'll see another video after today, for example, which will say March 21st lecture. It's actually the same video. So you might feel like there's too many videos up here. Like it could get overwhelming as we get through the class. But it's not like that. I've got 2 or 3 videos that say the same thing. So it's just how you want to do it, maybe. And so if you ever want to find this stuff, you go, like these are already posted. The whole class is posted. You can, I think you like click on my name if it pops up. So you click on my name, and then I don't know. Oh, it's a playlist, right? So I've got it all in a playlist, right? So there's endocrine. All the endocrine videos are here. There's chapter 18. That's all there. Chapter 19, chapter 20, right? I've got the whole class. It's already there. I mean, don't watch biology or anything, but I mean, those classes are like those lectures are there if you ever want to jump ahead. It's not like you have to learn it. It's just that it's better when you see it. Then when I talk about it, it's not so like brand new and just messing you up. And that's it. The home puts you on the syllabus. You can click here and download it if you want, but this is the syllabus. That's modules. That's where all the notes are going to be. Grades are going to have your grades. I usually grade things. Okay, so if we take it on Wednesday, usually what I do, I'll try to grade it Wednesday, but I often don't. But for sure, I grade it by Thursday morning. So I'll have it up. Latest I'll have a test score up is like around 10 o'clock on the next morning. And yeah.
Okay, you said our test will be in class, right? Because I noticed online I see practice, test, practical, and I'm wondering will we,
Yeah, that's for lab.
Oh, okay.
So I consider lab like, okay, so what I'm going to do is after we're done here, we're supposed to meet for lab at 11:30. But we're not doing that today. What I'm going to do is right when we're done with everything in this class, I'm just going to go over the syllabus for lab. It'll take me like 10 minutes maximum, and then we're done for the day.
Now, may I ask a question? Yeah. According to what I have here on it says that the lab is on Wednesday only. What are you going to do? You're going to split it Monday and Wednesday?
No, so Monday, if you wanted to
lab.
So Monday, we're using this program called Labster. So you do the labs online. But there's also some things we're going to do in class. So on Wednesdays, we're going to like look at like microscope slides, or maybe we're going to look at like different models of organs and like learn where things are. So it's going to be like hands-on.
That's on Wednesday.
Yeah, that's on Wednesday. And maybe dissections, if you guys decide you want to dissect something, that will be on Wednesdays. So all of that in the class stuff, hands-on, that's on Wednesdays. On Mondays, you go through like an online laboratory.
Okay.
It's going to take you some time. You might spend, well, I'm kind of jumping ahead of myself, but it's supposed to help you. It's up to you. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I got 5 people. Say hi, guys.
Hey, everybody.
Hello.
I had someone here earlier too, but like she ended up leaving because I thought it was just going to be her.
Oh my goodness. Okay, what is the Zoom? I'm so sorry.
Oh, I got to get you all's name too. You can hang out in the class if you, or you can leave and do it online. Whatever you prefer.
Well, I'm gonna just stay today since I'm already here.
Yeah, right now we're just kind of I want to write down some of y'all's names. Okay, I've got
Is it fine if I record?
Oh,
absolutely. I'm recording it right now.
I need to put my name in, huh?
Yeah, you could just tell me. I'm gonna, if you want, I could just type it.
Okay. My name
Yeah.
is Shirley. Shirley Jones.
Did I have you for something before? I know that name.
Really? It's old. I don't think nobody named their children Shirley anymore.
Yeah.
But no, I don't know. Maybe I've been in school
Okay.
half of my life. So did you teach back in 2004?
Yes. Yes.
You did?
Yeah.
I probably had you for lab.
Yeah, there's a good chance. I was teaching this in 2004. Yeah, I haven't even gotten on it yet.
But like I said, they told me that my lab in anatomy was too old and I had to repeat it. So I'm repeating you again.
I get a lot of people like that.
Maybe they're right because I have to reread some of this stuff. I'm not going to take it for granted. That's for sure.
There was another girl here. I can't remember her name. Oh, when I see it, I'll know it. Keyshawn. I remember her now. And I've had you before. Yeah, I remember. Yeah. Did I write? Did you ask for a rec for something or something? Like that?
Yeah, that was me with the hassle. Sorry about that.
No, it wasn't.
Appreciate it.
But I remember. I just remember like these weird things. All right. What's your name?
Alexis, why?
Good.
Yeah, put my name in.
I got everybody here.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I can switch up to there. I'm not really talking about, like, I haven't started talking about like anything. I've just been going over the syllabus. All right, well, it's getting there now. So what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All right, we're getting there. I've recorded all this, and I'm gonna drop it online. You know what I might do here? I might stop this recording here, and I'll put this up separately, and I'll just call it like class introduction. All right, actually, that's what I'm gonna do. Stop recording. Stop recording.